so sorry, but we're not the same. No, we're not the same. Boo-hoo, poor you, please forgive me, cause I don't feel any pity. I'm fed up with lies, you wanted my demise. Now you're watching me rise, rise, rise. Up in the window, smaller and smaller you fade out. Up, up, up in the window, yeah. You cannot get my vibe, no, there's no way. I'm flying high above all your gravity, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. You cannot get my vibe, no, there's no way. You can say what you want, call me insane, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. Watch me levitate. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. In the window. In the window. In the window. In the window.
Watch me levitate, watch me levitate, watch me levitate, watch me levitate, levitate. Watch me levitate, watch me levitate, watch me levitate, watch me levitate.
Watch me levitate. You cannot kill my vibe, no, there's no way. I'm flying high above all your gravity, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. You cannot kill my vibe, no, there's no way. You can say what you want, call me insane, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. Watch me levitate. Hey, hey, watch me levitate.
If I could slow down the clock, I would. When I'm with you, I just feel so good. Every day, every single night. So for now, let's just take our time. Now that I got you by my side, tell me how you ready for the ride. Yeah, we gonna make it last all night. So let's just take our So for now
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the CWL here for the playoffs draw of Division 1 here for Season 9. My name is Drake. I'm joined by Zapdos, and we're here to bring you guys through the live draw show that we're going to have here for the playoffs. Logic taking us through behind the scenes as well. Good to be here. Good to be back. Are you excited for this draw show, Zapdos?
Yeah, it's going to be super fun. We're practically, worlds here. I don't know anything that's better than CWL, so I'm super excited to see where everybody is going to be drawing into. Remember, this is the top 3 teams of every single division, so I believe we have 4 different leagues to be looking at here. So super exciting to see these teams that we think are super good in one, region, basically, and see how they do against another.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see. I think they're all from the same division, actually. I could be wrong. Logic?
Hello? All the teams are in mostly the same division, so they were just drawn at the start of it. But we have 4 different groups in that one division, so we're going to see people from different groups going up against each other in this sort of finals. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see a lot of these teams, especially when you have such teams like Chili Fries that haven't lost a game. So if there's somebody from a different division, because there's sort of metas to build around from different groups.
Yeah, there are. And I mean, like you mentioned, Chili Fries, you didn't even mention your team, right? You didn't even mention the team that you're super biased about. No.
I mean, they finished 5-2. I believe in them. For everybody who doesn't know, Twisted Glories, I got their back no matter what. I know we're not meant to be biased, but the problem is, I can't be biased because I like good Chili Fries. I like Lynx. I'm working on something behind the scenes with them. Should be coming out later this week. And then, Twisted Glories, just good buddies with them. So it's really difficult because I like everyone here.
Yeah, and a lot of these teams have been around for ages, right? Like when we were looking at teams like Revel Links, like you mentioned, or even Reef Tsunami. I mean, changed their name a bit to Grief Tsunami, but we've all known that name for a long time. Good Chili Fries, like you mentioned. Even up towards Group A, we have Good Chi, who have added a couple of abbreviations afterwards, and Diving Fighters as well. So a lot of names, not just on teams, but also the players who have stuck around in CWL for the longest time. So a lot of familiar faces. I think we're going to get into a real quick preview of how this tournament is going to work. Oh, no. Okay, we're going to go straight into the draw. Okay, and in the back, you can see the bracket. Okay, all right, we're seeing the bracket. We're explaining the tournament playoffs format. So as you guys can see, in the higher bracket, it is going to be round 1, match 1 through match 4. And those are going to be with all of the seeds that aren't first seed in their groups, right?
Yeah, and then it's going to be second and third seeds for that first one. And then round 2, like you said before, because they've done so well in their group and got to that first place, they don't have to play the first game, they just have to play the second one. And more importantly, if you are in the same group in round 1, you will not be going against somebody else from your group. So if you're group A, you're the second seed and the third seed, you guys will be missing each other. Just to give you guys at home a little bit more excitement to see teams that maybe you've been dreaming about going against each other.
Yeah, dreaming about or dreading about. It could be one or the other for sure. Certain teams are not going to want to play against each other, I'm sure. Like, we were mentioning Good Chi is one of them, but Good Chili Fries, the biggest one, right? The team that hasn't lost yet this season. They have drawn in their last match of the season to I would say a relatively large upset. So they can be beaten, they can bleed, but they did draw, so they still have yet to lose a series. Going to be a very scary opponent to go up against if you get unlucky enough to draw them in your second round. And it's double elimination. I think that's the biggest thing here, right? So if you do end up losing, nearly double elimination. Elimination after round 2. Round 1 is single elimination, so really need to win that one if you want to progress through the playoffs. But once you make it past that barrier, once you make it past round 1, you have double elimination, you have a cushion to fall back on, and then you can progress through that lower bracket all the way up until the finals if you are good enough, lucky enough, or, just have that gumption in the last few seconds.
Yeah, and the main thing I want to really think about is so far in the CWL, we've only had best of 2 series, so you can only adapt once to what the enemies pick. So if they pick something wacky like a Z Jungle, you're like, guys, let's ban that for the second one. Then you win there, you're not able to adapt again afterwards. So with this being a BL3 or even a BL5 later on, we will see a lot more flexibility from these teams, because so far it's very much been you can play the exact comp you want, compared to later on now where they might have to dig a little bit deeper into their champion pools.
Yeah, and there's going to be a lot of scouting as well, I'm sure, for these teams. And you're going to be able to kind of watch who you potentially are going to go up against in a very high-stakes scenario, right? So if you are one of these teams that are first in their group, a very comfortable seat to sit on, already on top of your league, or sorry, of your group. But on top of that, you're going to watch these teams duke it out in the first round of these playoffs. So you're going to be able to see exactly what they bring out, what, maybe they pull out of the woodwork because they really just need to, or at least see the game that they want to play. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be exciting. And I think we're finally going to get to the group draw. I think we're going to be drawing for, like we mentioned, the first seeds of these groups first off.
So yeah, these don't matter too much. We're just saying, hey, you can go here, you can go there, and you can go in towards the other place. But the one thing I have to talk about these first seeds is, yes, all of them have either drawn or lost one game, but 3 of them have never lost a full series. So it's going to be a really big deal for them to see what they can come up against. Because when you're winning out against everybody in your group, you feel like you're the top of the world and you don't have that rate of growth. A bit like when we talk about the LEC. Of course, not now, but when G2 was at the height, at the peak of where they were, there was never really a team to contest them. Then they couldn't go against these regionals. So we'll have to see if there was this one group that was clearly better than the rest, and with them going against other groups now, hopefully we can see that.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. That's for sure. And I am unsure if we're transitioning. Are we? I think we are. All right, so we're getting into the draw right here, and just to name off all of them, we probably know them all, as you guys are very well. I assume most of the watchers even are going to be people involved in the playoffs, so they do know the names. But Good Chi, Good Chili, Twisted Glory, and Revelinx are going to be our top 4 here, who are going to get selected first. And like you mentioned, not really the biggest deal where they end up getting put just yet, but it's going to contextualize the rest of the playoffs draft here for the rest of this draw show. So I'm excited to see it get started. I don't know if we've already spun the wheel.
Nope.
Oh my goodness, we're
who are we
spinning.
gonna get?
Whoa,
Who's gonna be the
roll.
first team?
Good chili fries. Okay.
Oh.
I mean, just
You don't
put
wanna
the
go
top
against
at the
them,
top.
do you?
Yeah, like it
Yeah.
is what it is. That is a very strong team to start us off. They're going to be put into the top bracket of the top level. It's. I mean, we've already talked about this team a lot. I think I even got the pleasure of casting them this season. They are
Just
so
plenty
strong.
of veterans, isn't it? It's just people who've been in CWL for a while.
A's,
been in
Shipex, Wobblebonk.
other different regions. It'll be super exciting to see who they will be going up against. And to be honest, I'm most excited for this round 3, as it's an opportunity to maybe see the top tier teams going up against each other. But I believe we should be getting in towards that second one in just a second. These ones don't matter too much early on, but hopefully we can, get through these real quick so we can see the ones later on as we are going to go again.
And here comes the spin. Spin to win or spin to lose for some of these teams, depending on where they end up getting placed. Looks like Twisted Glory is going to be that next one. A little bit of a, like we mentioned, home favorite here for one of the casters. You want to talk about them?
I mean, the main reason I'm a massive fan of this team is because back in the day, we used to play a lot of, games together in, I can't even remember what it was called, but it was some like online events. You could earn money. We used to play Nocturne Jungle, me on like these engaged supports like Nautilus. It was just a fun time. The AD carry and the top player still around from those days, and they brung in a lot of new players. Of course, so he scouts their jungler, somebody who is Scottish, so I feel is my arch enemy at that point. But except for that, absolute pleasure. So good to see them coming through, and I believe we only have 2 more left of these first round picks.
Yeah, it's going to be Good Chi and Revelinx the next 2. And like we mentioned, it really just contextualizes the rest of the bracket. It really matters for the teams who are second and third in their groups. Especially, I would say the first 2 of the next draw is going to be the scariest position, because then you will be against Good Chili Fries, right? And we didn't really talk about this much, but if for example, Good Chili Fries are in Group B, if we were to draw Arrakis, Esport, or W in that first draw for round 1, match 1, they would be moved down to round 1, match 2, because we don't want to have them playing against their own group opponent.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, not W. All right, we just got some information from production. They played against Emrys in a tiebreak, and Emrys won out against W. Rightfully so. I mean, I was mentioning this earlier, but Emrys able to take 1 game, the only map loss that Good Chili Fries have in that last time they played against them. So Emrys are going to be that 3rd spot. But either way, Emrys and Arrakis are the 2 that cannot play against Good Chili Fries. So if they do get drawn first in that top level, then they will be moved down. And that's just kind of explaining that we don't want to see any repeat matches.
I mean, it's just no fun. We've seen that the whole entire time during the split. Already played against each other twice in a row. So doing that again, we don't want that. So we're trying to give everybody a little bit of a change up, see what they can do with adaptability. She might be used to playing one mid laner who changes up and has a completely different champ pool, as ADs are very popular right now and they play AP. Might be something fun to watch, but of course with Lynx and Gucci still available, we're gonna have to see who's going to be coming next. The big thing about both of these teams is they've been around the CWL for such a long time. They've been doing a lot of things behind the scenes to try and help build up the community. They've actually been very interlinked together, trying to create events for people all around the place. So it's super exciting to see both of these teams. As who was the one to get it?
Okay, it was Good Chi. So they're going to be moving into that third level of the second round, and it will be Revelinks all the way down on the bottom. And like we mentioned, it doesn't really have anything to do with like where you're going to progress in the bracket, how much harder it is. It's really just completely randomized from this point. It's just letting us know who's going to be playing against them once they win their first round match over there in the first half of that bracket. So it's going to be interesting to see from here what teams end up getting drawn against teams like Good Chili Fries and you know, further on.
Yeah, a lot of these teams are going to be very difficult to come up against, especially with Emirates only barely scraping themselves in that third and fourth seed, just so close together in that position. But now you see everybody on the round two. Now we're going to be going to the round one matches. Remember, if you're in the group A with Good Chili Fries, you can't actually be in the group that they played in the regular season. So the first ones are going to be completely random. Afterwards, it might get shifted around to be exactly where they want to be. And Jake, I have to ask you, of all the four teams we see here, which group would you want to be in? Because all of them to me seem very scary.
Yeah, I mean, this is something we were talking about a bit off stream. It's kind of difficult because we were talking about it a bit, and all of these first seeds are very, very strong. And then you're looking at second and third seeds, and I feel like they're relatively evenly matched. Like if you're looking at Group A, you have Europe and Diving Fighters pretty closely matched. When we were talking about Arrakis and Emrys, pretty closely matched, although Emrys did, you know, struggle a bit at the end to get in. I feel like they've definitely leveled up as a team throughout the season. And then just throughout all of these groups, right? The second and third seeds are relatively close. I would say the one team that I wouldn't want to go against would be Good Chili Fries. Maybe the most comfortable for me would be Revel, just because of the fact that they're on relatively even footing with their second seed, Give Money. I feel like that was a bit of a group of death down there in Group D.
Yeah, it really did feel a bit like the group of death. Revelings, one of those teams when they're together can be very fantastic. It's just, can they get towards that late game and scale into the position they need to? Because a lot of these teams have sort of different play styles on how they like to go. Good Chili Fries can style pretty well, but pretty good in towards the early game. And one thing I know about them behind the scenes is they just love to have a laugh. They mostly just sit down and like, guys, it's League of Legends today. Let's just have a bit of fun. Well, there are other teams like TG who like to go a little bit more serious on it, be like, all right, we need to scrim at this time, do this thing. And I'm not sure what's more scary. A team that they still care, but like just relaxes about it, could get this far. Or a team that's fully on it because they're going to fully prepare for you and get ready for the series.
Yeah, and I think the big thing as well, moving into a playoffs bracket where, you know, it's best of threes, best of fives, it matters a lot more, like you said, that preparation as well as just the foundations of really good collected and I would say calculated play, right? Because I feel like making sure that you have, for example, a good mental throughout a series is really, really important. If you lose that first game, or if you're in a best of five, if you lose the first two games, being able to come back mentally is very difficult if you're just kind of laissez-faire about it. It looks like Give Money is going to be the first one on this roll. Okay, never mind, doesn't count. BAR, it doesn't look like that.
If we saw it didn't actually spin, so it doesn't count. So, Give Money, you guys have been saved.
No, they haven't.
Okay. Guys, I swear it's not rigged, all right? Logic, can you promise us that it's not rigged behind the scenes? He says he can't, so... So maybe everything is scripted behind the scenes, but no, Give Money, I don't believe they're in the same one as Good Chili Fries. They should be going in towards that top upper bracket. We'll have to see who they'll be going up against in just a second, because usually, well, a lot of people say at Worlds is sometimes playing the play-ins is the best part about Worlds, is because you get to practice, you get to learn on stage, you get to really build up to the Worlds compared to other teams who are first place, you know, miss that game of practice and then go straight in, while another team is really built up. So maybe if the second or third tier teams can do super well, can be very positive and not too show many cards, maybe when they get towards that round 2, they can actually compete against these first place teams.
Yeah, and I feel like it's even more important to highlight now that we have moved into the round 1 draw. The fact that, you know what, that second round just does not matter. Like, if you get knocked down, you get up again, or you can at least. You have the lower bracket, right? I think the biggest deal here is going to be who you're playing against here for the round 1. Because realistically, this is the one match that you need to win if you can progress. Past this, you, like I said, have that second chance. But this first match, who you are actually up against right away, right off the bat in playoffs, that is going to decide who's in the playoffs actually any further or who's just knocked out immediately.
And you have to remember, this CWL is the biggest it's ever been. Before, we only had about a 10, 20 teams, 24 max ever in the CWL history. Now we had up to 48. A massive change. So even the teams just getting to this position should be majorly proud of themselves. There's plenty of people who have never played professional League of Legends or anything of the sort and have come in and have really performed at this level, especially around this Masters Plus. Because now we will be going for that second one. Who will be going against our first seeded teams?
I'm terrified for them, as it looks like it is not quite going to be Emirates. It's going to be Europe, and they're not in Group B, or not from Group B, I should say. Nobody's in any groups anymore. So they will be going up against, I think it was Give Money over there in the first match, the first round of the playoffs here in CWL Season 9. I'm excited to see it, and I'm sad for them for that second round. Good Chili Fries will be knocking their hopes down, but, you know, at least it's going to be, I'd say, a pretty contentious one. They're both second seeds, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, second seeds are both regions, and that's the big thing is you can have a third team face a third team. It's not a second team having to face a third team, so it can be a lot closer than you would actually expect here. And for me personally, maybe we should have actually done it when the second seeds had to go to third seeds. Now we think about it, but too little, too late. And if you are good enough, you should be able to beat them. So positive vibes all around. And to be honest, Drake, you know how you say you're not a biased caster. You don't really have a favorite. I'm going to be honest. I feel like you're liking Good Chili Fries.
I mean, they're just strong, right? When we're talking about the season performance, when we're talking about like numbers, right? I would say it's Good Chi and Good Chili Fries standing at the top, undoubtedly, right? They both have 7 wins so far in this season, and one of them hasn't lost yet. One of them has only lost once. So both teams very, very strong, and Good Chili Fries just happens to be the one that has only lost one map. And like we mentioned, are pretty laissez-faire about it. So I'm terrified to go against a team like that.
Yeah, exactly. Going to be very scary to go up against. We should pretty close get towards this R1 match 2 to see who will be going against Twisted Glory if they win out against one of these opponents.
And
so much suspense.
Grief Tsunami. Okay. Looks like we haven't had... Never mind. This is it. This is the overlap. Okay, so they're going to move down to, I think, the third match because they would have gone against Twisted Glory. So now, because we don't want to see a repeat, they should be moving down to match 3 to face against... God, I cannot remember who the heck was in match 3.
I mean, it's no, Revel Links was the bomb one. We've already had Good Chi.
It was Good Chi, right?
Good Chi.
Yeah, Good Chi.
It is Good Chi. Super excited to see how they will be doing down there. And for everybody, if they are in the same, they just go down one. And we will try and keep you guys updated as much as possible. So now we'll be going back to see who will be going against TG with one of them taken out. Hopefully, we will be having someone new. There's only one other team that TG can't face against. So let's see if they're going to be able to grab someone else.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see. Now it's really contextualizing the whole bracket because we'll have somebody up in that second match as well. So it's going to get scary for the teams that are still in the running. Looks like Diving Fighters is going to be that team who's put into the second match. So bringing somebody up from Group A into that second match seed. And we've spread it out quite a bit already. I'm excited to see a lot of these second seeds already given their spots, but third seeds getting their spots here in match 2 and match 3 as well.
Do you know what I'm quite sad about? I wanted to see Grief Tsunami versus Diving Fighters, because with two names like that, it is going to be like an immovable object against an unstoppable force. Two teams that are just going to be like, hey, we're fighting. So hopefully we get to see that in the second or third round, because they still have the chance to get through in their own bracket. But we will have to see who's going against Grief Tsunami. Whoever wins there will be going against TG. Two very difficult matches, so let's see who's up for it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Because I have noticed... Oh, okay. Production? Okay.
He's-
He's just having
No, I mean, all I'm imagining is like 5 different circles everywhere of like different possibilities, and just the spreadsheets being like, okay, they have a 0.2% chance to go into this group. If they go here, they can probably win it all. But if they go here, maybe not. That's logic behind the scenes trying to sort out everything, because production, trying to keep the stream up, that's a lot to handle. So we'll give him as much time as he needs, Drake. It's almost like it's our job to entertain people. And,
It's true. It's
try and
true.
hold them up.
And try and give as little of a headache to production, but we do our best to do the opposite of that. So but yeah, speaking about Grief Tsunami, actually I did want to mention it. I think they have the lowest points for a 3rd seed, so gonna be kind of an interesting team to see when they we already know who Diving Fighters are going to play against. They're playing against Reunion, so that's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be 2 3rd seeds facing off against each other. I do feel like Group A,
Definitely more difficult.
Yeah.
especially
Diving
for that
Fighters
first
have
round seed.
they have 5 wins as well, right? And Reunion only have 4. But I did say Group D was the group of death. I feel like it was the group where everybody was duking out, everybody was taking away wins and draws. Only 1 loss actually for Reunion as a 3rd seed team. Like, that's going to be an interesting match to watch.
Yeah, definitely Diving Fighters will be probably the favourites going into that, but more importantly, both of these teams still very strong, but both 3rd seeds, TG are going to be very happy who they're going to go up against either way, as if you can choose between 2nd or 3rd seed, of course you are going to be choosing that 3rd one. But of course, now that we know TG and Chili Fries, we will have to be going down to Gucci. We already know the Grief Tsunami is going to be down there. We only have one other team to see which will go down there. Plenty of different options. And if you had to pick between Revel and Gucci, who'd you pick?
Man, we were talking about Rebel earlier, and I do feel like, playing against the team that has less wins theoretically should just be easier. But we were also talking about contextualizing a playoffs format. We were talking about, teams who have gone up against multiple losses and have really learned throughout their seasons. And I do feel like Rebel is a team that has learned a lot throughout this season. And, Good Chi, maybe a couple of things to shore up on. Maybe I'd be a little bit more keen to look towards Good Chi.
Yeah, 100%. Both of these teams are very positive on the way they play, very confident and very high on towards the macro. But I do believe we are ready to see who will be going against Grief Tsunami.
Never mind.
Logic.
Like we said,
Logic,
there's a lot
please.
going on behind the scenes. There's a lot going on in everybody's lives, I'm sure. But we have to take a second. We're building the hype up, We did something wrong. 2nd versus 3rd? Okay, never mind. Whatever you guys see on your screen is not exactly correct. We're swapping something around. We were figuring it out.
Okay, so everybody...
It didn't go with the script.
Yeah, remember the comment I made before of, we should probably put 2nd and 3rd teams against each other? Well, we're doing that. Apparently that was meant to go from the start. So completely, we'll put our hands up and say, our bad. So everybody in round 2 is staying the same. Round 1, I believe there should be 2 changes. Remember, there is 2 third teams in match 2 and 2 second teams in match 1. So either one of those 2 are going to get swapped around. We're going to let Logic try to figure out behind the scenes. And then we're going to get into match 3 to see who's going against Tsunami. And to be honest, if you're in match 1 and you can get out of there, you're going to be very fortunately to do so. If I was Europe, I'd give money. I'd be like, hey guys, Logic, how much do I have to pay you?
Yeah,
can I go into match 2? I don't really want to go against the 3rd seeded team into Chili Fries.
Yeah, they're praying to their lucky stars for sure, trying to get out of that one. But I mean, no matter where you are, it's going to be difficult, right? We were talking about 100%. It earlier. All 4 of these first seeds are very, very strong, and all of them have something different going for them, right? We were talking about Rebel briefly, having, I would say they haven't lost either, right? But having drawn a few more of their matches, having to fight a little bit harder for their position here at the top of their group. I feel like they've definitely become a little bit more seasoned because of that. Twisted Glory, very similar. The exact same scoreline for the end of the season. And then looking towards Good Chili Fries and Good Chi, I mean, just like we mentioned, teams that have 7 wins under their belt, that is 14 map wins. It's a bit scary, I will be honest, to go up against teams like that. So all of these teams having something a little bit different going for them.
Yeah, really exciting to see. A lot of these teams have that veterinary people in their teams, so even if they get themselves into a little bit more of an awkward situation, they can always try to climb themselves out of it. And CWL, with how long this split has been from the start to finish, I don't think any of these players were the same that they started off as. A lot more flexibility around them, and many well, a lot of changes because plenty of teams joined the CWL and just weren't able to hack it. Plenty of these divisions have lost one member, have lost two members. So they weren't able to handle the heat of the CWL.
I was about to mention heat as well. I mean, it is hot over here in British summer. I'm gonna be honest, like I am sweating buckets, and I'm in the house. Like I have 2 fans on me right now. It's ridiculous, and CWL definitely heating up as well as the playoffs are set to kick off. I'm excited to see. Once we have this sorted out, looks like it is going to be Europe who moved down to match 2, and it is going to be Diving Fighters who moved up to match 1. So, 07's in chat for Diving Fighters, and, Europe, you dodged this one. You will have to go against TG, so it's still going to be difficult, but a little bit nicer.
Yeah, going to be exciting to say. For everybody, this is a little bit last moment of trying to figure out a way to figure this all out. That's the reason it is a little bit more on the creative side, we like to say. But now we will be going against, or see who's going against Greece Tsunami. And the reason that the change was made in the round 1 was, of course, 2nd versus 3rd seeds. So, of course, Europe versus Run. Give Money versus Diving Fighters. 2 exciting matchups yet again. And to be honest, whoever drafts against each other, I still want to see that game.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, obviously the reason that 2nd and 3rd seeds are going up against each other is because if we think seeds are any showing of how good a team is, we'd like the first seeds to be challenged, for lack of a better word, right? When one of the members of the first match move on to the second round. So wanting a 2nd seed to go against a 3rd seed means that there's a chance for all of the 2nd seeds to move forward, and then all of the first seeds to have to go against a 2nd seed. That's like the idea of it, right? You don't want any group to just be free or like whatever, like the easy group, and then one team just promotes all the way through towards finals and playoffs. So that's the main reason. Obviously, these are all in brackets terms because no team is free, right? Like all these teams have been working really, really hard throughout their seasons, but that's just the objective way that I'm putting it. So that's the reason that we've done that, as we are going to get into this last draw. Once again, if it is a 3rd seed going against the 3rd seed or a 2nd seed going against the 2nd seed after this draw, we will move them down and figure that all out. But it looks like it will be Arrakis who do get selected here. And that is going to be the 2nd seed here from Group B. And I believe they're going to be going against Greece Tsunami. So that does check out in my books.
They're going to be going against Greece Tsunami. And then if they win there, against Gucci Gaming. FO?
Yeah, that does check out. Yeah, because Gucci. Okay. Yes.
Yes. There's so many teams in the CWL. The big thing for us as casters is at the start of the split, we had 4 different groups to try and figure out, all of them having 8 different teams in. So it was a lot to handle, but exciting to see the teams really rise to the occasion. There's a lot of names here that we do remember. We're always like, oh, that guy's in that team. That's super exciting to see. And of course, with this being 1st, 2nd, and 3rd seeds, it's really exciting to see the 2nd and 3rd seeds going against each other, as it really means that when you get yourselves to a higher seeding of the 2nd instead of 3rd, you have a little bit of an easier opponent and a little bit of an easier time. But with that one going through, I believe that the 4th one as well should be completed, so we should know both of the teams that are going to be going against each other, and then later going against Lynx.
And I think we are going to go back to the bracket just to show how that looks with Greece Tsunami up against Arrakis. But yeah, I'm excited to see it as well. That did decide the next group as well, so we don't need to spin for that one.
And I was enjoying that,
Yeah, no more spinning to win. It's been good though. I mean,
we should have had like Garen in the corner, just Garen's in every single corner, just spinning to win. Would have been super fun.
Or like a Rammus or something.
Snowball.
Like just Rammus spinning in circles. Yeah.
We so need to try and figure out a way of doing this in game, of like having it where you have a complete
just Rammus control threes, and wherever he stops, like it just. Because that's where he spins on his back or something. Yeah, it'd be sick. There's a lot of spinning champions.
Yeah, we can figure something out. But no, at the bottom of Group 4, because of course, remember, Match D was finished. EE versus EMR will be going against Rebel Lynx. Whoever wins there, with all of these groups figured out, I think they're all pretty close. So, of course, going against Gucci at the top, or Chili Fry, at the top is going to be the hardest. But I don't think there's any easy road here.
Yeah, I feel like we are going to see a bit of a repeat here for Rebel, with them being kind of participants of the group of death. That's my opinion, at least. I feel like the other groups, have very strong outlying first seeds. But if we're looking towards that Group 4, or God dang it, Round 2, Match 4. The Round 1, Match 4 teams are relatively closely matched, I'd say. Emrys, like we said, did barely scrape by into the playoffs, but they had to beat Good Chili Fries on a map to do that, as well as win out in their tiebreakers. So a very strong team nonetheless. And against EU NE Endurance, moving towards that Revel, who, like we mentioned, kind of very close to getting second seed in their group as well. I feel like that's going to be the match for me to watch.
Super exciting to see. For me, of course, TG have to be the home favourites. Really excited to see whoever they're going against, either Europe or Run Time. Two very difficult teams, but two very exciting teams, to say the least. As we'll quickly ask Logic when we believe that the first game should be kicking off, so we can tell everybody at home where to be.
Next weekend.
Next weekend. There we go. So everybody, I will be here. Sadly, I will be in Ireland casting Comic-Con. But Drake,
poor guy. He's going to be casting live in Comic-Con.
Oh, sorry, guys. I don't mean to brag. I don't know how British guy got there, but that's not the point. We're here for CWL, and we get CWL next week. Drake, you better be there.
Yeah, I'm excited to be. I mean, I have nothing going on, so if I'm invited back, we'll see what happens. Because I feel like a lot of these leagues have died down, and that's kind of a result of what you mentioned with CWL being a very, very long season. That means that there's a lot of free time to be watching the CWL in between, as a couple of these other tournaments have died down or finished completely. I mean, I've been watching a lot of NA tournaments. They're completely done. Looks like we are going to be going to a really short break as we prep some behind-the-scenes stuff for you guys. It's going to be really good. You guys are going to like it. Make sure you stick around. We'll be right back after a really short break, and then we'll have some content for you guys. That's all I have to say.
Content.
Three versus five, all eyes on ShipX.
Wiggie's going in now for a little bit of an engage on the Rel, but running out of HP very, very rapidly. Here comes ShipX, though, with the massive Blade Caller. Oh my god, he just shredded everybody. The instantaneous triple kill for the ShipX United team captain.
Zeri unchecked, though. She's going wild in these backlines here, forcing the Xayah into her own stopwatch. And with Malphite doing the best that he can to peel, it's not likely going to be able to make a difference here. Xayah is going to be blown up here with one more auto. There it is. Xayah falling right next to the Syndra. Zeri finally dropping on her own. And with Sedge, the last hold.
but the Kog'Maw not so lucky. It's a good CC coming out from the Zac, but it's just not quite enough as the resets start to come through. Isaac and Shipex clean him up. Another triple kill for the former champion.
Liking his chances, flashing forward away from the charm, able to kite out this
Shipex!
change, wheel being
Shipex!
flipped. Okay, Burger Flipper is able to cut the montage music.
Getting another grasp onto that Rel, and now we gotta burn down the Baron, guys. We gotta burn it. No, Rel is just gonna be able to get into the...
Oh, Aphelios moment.
Is there. Oh, okay. What? Wait, what? Aphelios killed the Baron! Wait, what just happened?
Game, set, match. Rebel Lynx are your Season 8 CWL champions.
Roki going in, gets the kill with the Spirit Rush. Isaac now on the way out, already utilized the Cyclone. Another charm going to land for Roki. It's gonna be Rebel Lynx leading up the fight as the mid laner teleports in and just takes over. And now the stolen Nautilus is gonna root up the Lucian. It's a double kill over to 741.
No power in this world can stop me.
Deal with me first. She's such a loser.
I like it here. I just might stay.
Here comes the World Ender. Aatrox flashing forward, looking for the sweet spot. Getting the shield, slowing over the wall. Jonas committed, the volley lives, and Jonathan Isaac goes on a rampage. Overheats and goes golden freaky, leading the charge, but the AoE from the Ornn and the Vlad layered on top, and Vlad goes crazy.
But it's just a little bit too late. Unleash power, gonna bring him down to low HP, and it's a straight on pentakill. Locked in for Fluffy Vixen on the Camille.
The teleport from Ten, who's a little bit too late. The last press can dot turn it around. It's a 3-man knockup. The damage is coming through from the other side. Zolara's turn around.
Absolutely everything. He does get excited, but is brought down. Massive shutdown for Fumble. But the WAP is finding absolutely everybody.
That was pretty goddamn sick. I'm gonna be
I
honest.
love that. Oh my! So, man, Drake, we've been doing this for so long, like CWL, everything, and like you know when you have that feeling on your face where you just can't stop smiling. That's the CWL for me because for everybody who doesn't know, of course, some of the casts you saw, and there are plenty of friends with all of them. But for me, getting into casting, getting this whole thing done was because of the CWL. I wasn't able to get into NOC. I wasn't able to get into the UKL until this place was really for me to grow up and get better, to be honest. And that's what a lot of these players are. No matter if you win, no matter if you lose, it's the CWL. So always be proud of where you come from, even if it is, you know, the best league in the world, the CWL. But Drake, where do you even begin with that? Everybody was hype. I have to say, behind the scenes logic, you seem to like Shipex a bit, if I'm honest. But no.
No, I mean,
It was just sick.
That was sick, like you said. It built up the hype. If you guys are not very excited for playoffs now, I don't know. Yeah, you must not be human. I'm gonna be honest. Logic absolutely pouring his heart and soul into that one, and it really paid off. I mean, I'm really excited to see the next games. Like we did mention, I even mentioned it live. I was like, okay, Shipex highlight montage, and you know, you see people in chat as well just flaming Shipex. But you know, Crewman with a really good transition said, you know what, they did cut that montage, and a lot of these players just showing a lot of promise and just really sick moments here in the CWL, and I'm excited to see more of them.
And Drake,
I mean,
remember,
that video was
if
sick.
anybody in playoffs does a super hype moment, maybe we can have something more from Logic. And to be honest, if we have a really good finals, I might even make a video about it. I break down all of these games and maybe doing a CWL game instead of LEC. If it's high quality, maybe we can have that as well. So plenty of content coming from the CWL and plenty of playoffs as well. How many games? I can't even count. I believe it's like 10 to 15.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's all I know. It's going to
lot.
be 8 within like the first 2 weeks. So definitely a lot of games to be played. And that's just matches, right? So it's not even games when you include series. So definitely a lot of action to come from CWL. A lot more, montage clip potential for a lot of these teams. And yeah, I'm really excited to see how it goes. A lot of those big names mentioned, and excited to see who's going to end up popping off throughout the playoffs. Who's going to claim that throne, if you will. And,
I catch your drift.
take home the CWL trophy over at the end of the grand finals. I mean, it's a long bracket to play through. It's a lot of games, like we were mentioning, but it's going to be exciting to see who gets it.
Yeah, going to be super exciting. And I see you, ShipX, in chat saying that you're the editor. To be honest, I can believe that after everything we've seen. It felt like it was just a love letter to ShipX out of everything. CWL, ShipX, match made in heaven. But plenty to come, plenty of different games. So everybody remember, next weekend is going to be when it's going to start. We're going to be super excited to see. I want to see blood. I want to see action. And CWL, one of the bloodiest leagues I cast. I think we're going to have plenty of it.
I'm excited to see it happen. So I think that's going to be it from us here for the draw show at around 45 minutes. So, you know, a relatively quick one here today, but I'm glad that you guys all joined us here and obviously figured out who you're going to be playing against. Start getting over to those VOD reviews, getting over to that studying because, I mean, that first round is going to be crucial for a lot of these teams if they want to stay in the playoffs. A lot of people will just be saying goodbye after next week. So after 4 matches and after, you know, a 45-minute draw show, we're going to see who's going to progress, who's going to claim that throne, like we were saying, and who's going to win CWL playoffs. It's been me, Drake, and Zapdos. Do you have anything else to say as we close this out?
No, like I said before, good luck, guys. Do your prep. Get me excited. Remember, I'm a color caster. Give me something to hype. If you want to go for this weird, wacky play topside, it's a best of 3. Plenty of opportunity to come back in the second game, so please give me something to cast that's fun.
All right, guys, that's it from us. See you guys next week.